Oh, I mistimed that a tiny bit, but oh well. Need to make sure everything works fine. It looks like it is, so we're good to go. We'll just be waiting for Seb to connect, and we'll be on the starting grid for the race. First, it'll be formation lap. Welcome to the 2010 series round 3 at Canada. As always, we are doing no qualifying after round 1. It will all be reverse championship order. I hope my mic's been picked up because I didn't really test it at all. But reverse championship order, and I believe Sid will be at the back of the field with T-Mac next to him. I believe Seb will also be starting at the back as he did not compete in the last 2 races. We're all here in AFR 2010 as if you don't complete the first 2 races, you start at the back with the leaders. I'll wait for drivers to choose their preset and then we'll be underway on the formation lap. As expected in the 2010 series, most of the grid is Red Bull cars, and apparently Seb will be leading charge. I don't think that's how it's supposed to be, but oh well. So Seb will be taking first place with Quantum next to him, and I believe they're both in Red Bull, so we'll have a Red Bull front row, and I believe Batemate in 7th, the only person to drive the Ferrari in the series. See how the Ferrari fares up against the McLaren and Red Bull cars. I'm pretty sure when I was waiting for all drivers to ready up that most, as I expect, most of the grid is Red Bull. You got about, I think you got like 5 drivers in the McLaren, 1 in Ferrari, and then the rest 6 other people in the Red Bull car. The cars are not limited like they were in the previous series that we did on this. In previous times we did this series, we limited the amount of Red Bull cars, so this wouldn't happen. Big L and PT are both hitting each other on the formation lap, getting both DSQ'd. But it doesn't matter, it's at the end of the formation, so their tires won't be freezing cold. As also in the series, no stop strategy, so we will not have a single car stop unless it's for a wing change or a safety car comes out, which is highly possible at this track. In these cars, it's also possible because you can lose this car quite easy in 3rd gear. Here we go, 4 red lights, 5 red lights. Let's see what happens here. And away there you go. Seb gets a great start next to Quantum. Okay. Quantum again overtaken by one of the McLarens. I don't know who it is. Batemate shooting up into 4th place off the start line. Gets pushed back down. He's in a sandwich between Red Bulls. The game's not helping me here with the Delta being glitched. We'll just wait for the Deltas to refix themselves to get a grasp of where everyone is. 3 people are still desynced to me, apparently. All 2 minutes behind each other. But Batemate in 6th place. He shot himself into 4th momentarily off the start, but got squeezed between 2 Red Bull cars. We got someone around, and it's Big Al in one of the McLarens. Said dropping started back with T-Mac. They're both fighting for position for 10th place over the last point. One of the Red Bulls has gone completely off, and that is PTR having a big moment out of the hairpin. After the first lap, that Seb will be completing the first lap and staying in the lead, and Quantum hitting the World Champions. Seb's the first lap. Mr. Spice in 3rd in the McLaren. Not doing very well to keep Panda behind him. As we got a yellow flag at the back. Let's see what it is. Bateman in the fray. He's at a spin out turn 2. It's typical for the fray to spin out. The fray in the series is quite unstable compared to Red Bull and McLaren's. There's a predicted pit stop strategy again that we definitely need to see because it's not going to come true unless someone gets damaged, and I don't think anyone has. So Sid, who was fine with teammate for 10th place, has made up 3 extra positions off the second lap. As one of the Red Bulls goes for a dive, and that's PTR with a dive on teammate. I can't even get my words out. That's the worst thing. I'm doing this by myself, so I'm gonna have trouble. 2 cars at the back of the falling quad there, and that's Big L and PTR both falling back at the rear of the grid because of the early spins they had. Panda will be faster car on trail 115.2. He's gone past Mr. Spice. That would have been in probably sector 2, I believe. As Lights gets a little bit sideways with the Red Bull traction. And now Trin and the McLaren's up all over him. As Lowe's picks up a penalty. Same does PTR on the same corner. That's gonna hurt them near the end of this race. Let's jump up to Sid because I want to see if Sid goes around the outside, and he does. He's going around the outside on Lowe's. Doesn't get the traction though. He's pushing the McLaren and Mr. Spice along through the corner. Lowe's gets a bit sideways. It looks like on the exit of the hairpin allowed Sid to take the position. Free wheel. But now Sid is going to have the problem. He's gone 2 taps from each car. He's got an entry tap from Mr. Spice on the rear. A corner exit tap from Lotus. I'm gonna run out of breath at some point. Now we got a 5-way fight for P5. This might turn into a 6-way fight for P4 if all these guys catch up to Mr. Spice. Seb, who's currently leading the pack, has a 2.7 gap over Panda as Mr. Spice picks up penalties. Same does Sid. So Lord Drive's having an issue on that corner, and someone spun. That's Panda. That everyone just goes through. Panda's lost it. Oh god. Oh, what turn is that? Turn 7, I believe. Onto the back straight. He's just lost it out of the corner. As this pack of guys are caught up to mid-spot now. It's a 6-way fight for P3. I should be in the box, but not in it. Yeah, you ditched me, combined. This is tough. It looks like Sid trying to shape up a move on Lights behind Lowe's, but Lights getting a better exit than Lowe's. How the chicane going on the inside. Now is Sid going to have a go at Lowe's? He does in turn 1. Does he get the braking right now? I think that's PTR. Squeezing it down the inside of Sid at turn 2. Gets the move done on Sid. Sid getting a bit sideways under braking. Allows Trin to go through now. Now note that all these drives in this pack except Lights is carrying a 3-second pen or more. Sid taking a bit of like some company. I don't even know if you're allowed to be honest. I don't think I will. I haven't ditched you. We'll be out. Yeah, hopefully you're here next week combined, you dog. Completely ditch me. He doesn't even message me that you're not going to be here. So I'm going to have someone today jump in and I'm like the only one here. So, well, I'm going to have fun. But PTR, who is leading in front of Trin at the moment. You did on Steam? Maybe I didn't even see the message. because I was doing stuff for like 2 hours beforehand. So I probably didn't even see the message unless you sent it like 10 minutes ago. Then I'm not on Do Not Disturb, so I don't get a notification. As Baitmate picks up a penalty in the back, another 3 seconds will be added to his time. Same with Quantum, he picks up a penalty in second. That won't help him to secure second place, as Lights is within the 3 second range of Quantum. If he's able to keep it clean, he would gain second place for the first race. Having tiny hiccups. So at the moment, I think as PTR tries to lunge on Los giving him the room, but PTR again a bad X after him. Los on midway through the corner, so PTR loses out on traction. Trin on the back of PTR now. Look at the straight line speed difference between the Red Bull and McLaren. Trin trying to take side by side for chicane, outbreaks PTR. Los also picking up 3 second penalty in front. PTR forced takes on the curb on the chicane. Gets forced down to 7th net in front of Sid. As T-Mac has pitted now, and I think that will be for a new wing. I just want to have a look. Yes, he is. So T-Mac's in for a new wing. That is probably his race is over, as he'll be a fair way behind the pack. I'm pretty sure Panda also pitted as well last laps, but Panda almost being lapped by the leader of this race, as one of the McLarens up front tries to go for a dive, and it's Mr. Spice. He's lost out to Lights, trying to dive on the inside at turn 8 to gain a spot back. To be honest, I hope I'm getting these turns right. If not, nah, I don't care. As one of the Red Bulls goes down the inside of the McLaren, is PTR on Trin again. But Trin has a straight line speed advantage. He'll be going on the inside of Lotus, so he's going to be hoping for the same thing they did with PTR. Lotus having a bit more straight line speed as Trin picks a 3 second penalty. I saw more 3 second penalties pop up, but I only picked up Trin's. I just think Lotus hit the World Champions and lost a bit of speed as Trin goes down the inside at turn 1 on the Lotus, picks up 5th place, and now he's chasing his teammate Mr. Spice, another McLaren. Lights at the moment on a point for a P2 finish if he keeps it clean for another 10 laps. As we see, well, I saw some fine at the back. It looks like they gave each other a little bit of space now. Lowe's braking very heavy for turn 8, giving Sid a big checkout as he picks up a 3 second penalty as well. Sid trying to outbrake Lotus, but locks out the tyre and unable to turn. Now Sid, after that mistake, will be further back than he wanted to be, as Panda sets a fast lap 1:14.0 in at the back. We'll jump up a bit to Trin, who is trying to catch down his teammate as teammate picks up a penalty. I think Sid is looking up for a move. So someone's had a spin. I don't even know who that was. It's Quantum Effect has had a spin at a turn 2, and I don't have any. Okay, there we go. VSC has been called, and I love it when my UI doesn't actually show it, so I had to pause the game. So virtual safety car has been called. Quantum spinning at turn 2, damaging his wing. Now he will have to pit under green now. Probably might get overtaken by T-Mac at the back. Currently Lights in second, and he's going to hold that place for now as everyone behind him is picking up penalties. Jump back a bit. It's just Sid as a DS, or Sid is just disconnected. jump up to Trin, who's getting fairly close to Mr. Spice in these few laps, as Quantum has now... Well, so is Sid, so Sid's AI has decided to pit him. Now, Sid's not going to be very happy about that one. Quantum in the pits to change his front wing. So T-Mag will be coming through the chicane shortly to grab all those places of the cars that have pitted. So T-Mac will be jumping up into 9th now. So does rejoin to take control of his car. I assume he's not very happy at the moment. See, this is where I need another commentator. So at least have someone to like bounce a conversation off, because this is rough. So Trin on Mr. Spice at the moment. Let's see the straight line speed between the McLarens. It looks about in Trin's favour of straight line speed at the moment, side by side in the chicane. Yeah. Huh? Oh, dog. Yeah. If Gus approves how to join you while it's at Lapster, I messaged Gus. I don't even know if he's there. I messaged him though. Huh? Thank you. Dog. What? Team commentators also good, but they can watch different battles the same. It was too late now. Yes, 2 commentators a lot. It's a lot. Keep up the good work. Thank you, Biggles. Much appreciated. So PTR is now pitting. So I've been distracted for a good lap and a half because people were walking in and out of the room. And my dog is also walking in and out of the room and it's distracting. So my dog recently had an operation on him. Oi, what are you doing? Oi. Hey. Hey. Don't eat that. No. So, back to the race. I've been distracted for a good 2 minutes, I say. We actually got a fight for P9 between T-Mac and Quantum Buzz, a 1.4 second gap. Big Al on Batemate, same gap as always, 1.4. To be honest, this race has actually gone... I actually don't know what to commentate on at the moment because the gaps are like going out. But after this race, there will be a second race for the 2010 series, as it's been 2 races for each round. So it will be second race at Canada, as the same as last week. We'll be doing reverse results or so here. So at the moment, Seb, who is actually leading this race, will start last, and Panda will start in first place along with Sid, who has disconnected twice so far. Kind of feel for him. So hopefully, when the next race starts, it will be battles to the end. So Big Owl currently in 7th. He's catching the back of Batemate. The gap's gone down to 1.1. T-Max losing. Quantum is now grown to 1.5. So I'm going to jump down with Big Owl, who's currently in 7th, chasing Batemate in the Ferrari. Not surprised that McLaren is catching one of the Ferrari games. F1 2010 game with F1 2010 car. Yes, we've done this every games since 2019. I think we did this in 2018. I'm not sure, but for Friday series, what we do is we do a series on F2 cars. When F2 finishes, we have a vote for our next series. Most people tend to lean towards the 2010 cars more than the other choices that are given. Some people want another F2 season, but 2010s have a more people vote towards it, so 2010s was chosen for this series so far. And when this series ends, it will be the same. We'll be voting again for what to do. We might be doing F2s again next time we start this, but it will depend. As Sid's very connected, and Sid is on Quantum's tail. And I don't know, believe Big Al has called the back of bait, mate. Not quite sure because all my intervals have died on me. So I just had to wait for the intervals to come back. I think it will be we'll have a battle for 5th place between Lotus Bateman and Big Al. F2 cars and you drive again? Fair point. If you enjoy the F2 cars, drive them. I don't personally like them, so I don't drive it. As PTR has crashed out Wall of Champions. So PTR has been called out by Wall of Champions there. You can see we'll jump on Quantum. You will see his car, so he's hit that exit wall quite hard, lost the front wheel of his car. Sid and Quantum having a battle. We'll jump up to Batemay and Batemay and Big Al actually. They've both gone past Lotus. So Lotus might have had a mistake in that Red Bull car to lose positions. Batemay doing extremely well with a recovery drive after spinning on lap 2, I believe it was. Thank you for the follow, Snapbacks 1200. I really need to get alert sounds on this, but this is joined a Twitch account, so I'm like, I just have it set up. I don't have anything actually set up because this is temporary. Because I only do this series as commentary. I don't do the main because I race in the main tier 1 series and tier 2 already has people doing it. As Lois has pitted, so judging by him pitting, he lost his wing while defending from Bateman and Big Al. Seb dominating the race in front. The gap is currently 13.6 seconds. And Grand Lights is being caught by Trin in first. So Trin looking to get that second place from Lights. Just have a look at penalties. So at the moment, Lights will be keeping his P2 finish as Trin will have 6 seconds of pens. Mr. Spice behind has 6 seconds of pens as well. Batemay has 12 seconds of pens, so he'll be dropping down behind Big Al. Big Al with 3 seconds will be jumping into 5th. Team Mac only has 3 compared to Lowe's, who has 15. Quantum and Panda having 3 seconds as well. Sid with a 6-second penalty. Then we got a difficult name to pronounce. Oh, Jesus. I don't know how to say this, to be honest. I'm not even gonna attempt. I don't know how to say that name. But thank you for the follow, much appreciated. I wish I knew how to say that name, I just don't. So, currently on the final Seb just crossed the line to start the final lap of the race, and now we're heading on to the second race with the reverse grid order. And it will be Lights and Seb who will be starting at the back, with Pan and Sid starting front row. Oh, actually, no, not Pan and Sid. PTR and Pan will be starting front row. PTR will be starting first as the DNF'd World Champions. Taking a bit too much speed into the corner, I assume. So, Big Al has been on the back of Batemate for some time, not pulling the trigger as Big Al knows that Batemate has 9 extra seconds of pens, so Big Al's just waiting until the finish line to overtake him in the results board. So we got Seb, I believe, is coming across the line now to take P1 for his first race in the 2010 series, and Lights will be finishing second, followed by Trin and Mrs. Spice. Lights having an excellent result as he hits the wall. So, Lights taking a P2 finish in Canada, puts him next to Seb for the next race at the back of the grid. Trin will be finishing third, followed by Mr. Spice and Big Al. Big Al finishing fifth after Batemate's penalties were applied, so Batemate will be finishing seventh, for Teammate finishing in Batemate sixth, and Teammate will be finishing seventh with Lowe's. Coming to the line now will be finishing eighth, followed by Quantum and Sid for the remaining point places. Penalties won't matter so much as the gaps are massive between these drivers. Penalties showing that it really hurts, and it does build up. When the penalties build up on those drivers, it really hurts at the end of the race if everyone has almost equal pacing to each other. And since there's no stops in this series, it really shows it just shows the consistency of the driver matters in these cars. If you're not consistent in this car, you can't pull a gap. That's what this series is about. So Seb taking that first place, and we got Lights in P2 with his tuxedo suit, followed by Trin in third in the McLaren. So Ferrari finishing sixth, showing good pace against the other McLaren and Red Bull drivers. So that is your finishing order. Next race we'll have 7 Lights starting at the back of the grid. PTR Panda will start in front row, followed by Sid, Lotus, Quantum behind them. T-Mac will be starting 6th place next to Quantum. Batemate next to Big Al. Mr. Spice next to Trin, and Last next to Seb for the next race of this series. So we'll wait for that grid to be set. As I need to remember the button for my thing. Because last week I messed up quite big time in the stream by pressing the wrong buttons for the wrong scenes, which did not work well. Yeesh. So we'll be it'll probably be about 4 minutes until we are able to be on the grid again. So we'll be waiting for PTR to set the grid for the next race. Yeah, PTR's hosting today as Band wasn't able to make it, so Band's requested that someone host and PTR volunteered to host this race. Band should be back next week, hopefully. Pondon, thank you so much for the raid, my dude. How did the first race go? The first race went well. Seb taking the win, followed by Lights and Trin. Lights holding his own in second place, not letting Trin and close down on him. The opponents, if this is wet towards the end, I'm not gonna know. But I'm guessing it's gonna be wet. Because no one's gonna tell me if the weather. No one ever tells me the weather. And I have to guess it. Why do you sound awfully familiar? Because yeah, combined. Weatherman has followed us again. I sound familiar because I do lobbies with Pondon sometimes. Yeah, it's me, Pondon. Yes, Apollo. I'm. Biggles wanted to join me last race, messaged Gus. I think Gus said no, sadly. So I'm just doing this by myself. Combine was supposed to be here today, but he doesn't feel like doing it. Well, I don't think Combine feels well. So as said, PTR and Panda will be starting front row, followed by Sid Lotus in the second. Quantum T-Mac will be in the third. And I believe it's Red Bulls all the way down to P5. And then we'll have T-Mac and McLaren in P6. I go with no commentator left behind. Baymay doing well in the Ferrari to put himself in P6 last race. Now he'll be starting P7. He'll be having to show us what that Ferrari can do against the likes of the McLaren and the Red Bull. They may be the only Ferrari in the field after Trin, who signed a contract with Ferrari to drive their car, has broken it after the first round. So Trin's gone. So Trin is not abiding his contract to Ferrari at all. I just got a Discord message. Teammates tell me not to say anything. I don't know what he's pointing at. So the old teammate just told me not to say something, and I'm not sure what teammate was pointing at. I think teammate made a mistake on formation on that, but I wasn't watching. But we'll be waiting for the rest of the grid. The Form, Seb and Lights at the back in the Red Bulls will be looking for a good getaway off the start. We got 3 red lights, 4 red lights, 5 red lights. And away they go. PTR again, an excellent start in the Red Bull, followed by Panda and Sid. Baymay shooting up into 4th place from the 7th on the grid. Quantum dropping down to 5th, followed by Mr. Spice. Well, T-Mac and Lights having a little fight at the back into turn 1. Jump back a bit as all my deltas has broken. It looks like there's been some carnage at the back. So my thing's broken. I'm gonna have to wait until sector 1 until I can actually talk. So Predictor's pick stop strategy, not gonna happen because no one pits in the series as Quantum's trying to go around the outside of Baitmate. That's not a good place to try to go around the outside. So Seb at the moment jumping into 9th off the start from 12th. Lights staying in position off the start. So Seb having an excellent start at the moment. PTR Pen and Sid have not changed positions so far, but Baymate has gained 3 spots and climbed into 4th place so far. But he has pressure from Quantum and the Red Bull behind him, and apparently it's lap 2. I love this glitch, man. So we got a few people in the pit lane at the moment. So we got Trent and Lights both in the pit lane. I believe that is both for front wing change, and it is. So Trent and Lights both in for front wings after turn 1, lap 1. We'll jump down to Lotus, who's following closely behind Mr. Spice, who is he's close to Quantum, but not anymore, as Lotus dives it down the inside at turn 8 on Mr. Spice. Jump up to P1 as Sid is... Sid's doing well, but Panda is a lot closer than Sid is at the moment. Not after a hairpin though. PTR at the moment holding his own to hold first place. Sid wanting to gain as many points as he can on T-Mac, who is his championship rival at this point. Sid currently leading the championship at the moment, followed by T-Mac. Sid, no, that was Panda giving the World Champions a tab as he sets the fast lap 1:15.2. As T-Mac picks up a penalty up the back, we'll jump on with Seb, who's caught the train with Mr. Spot, or Lowe's train. Following closely behind Mr. Spice. Let's see what Seb tries to do. He's not going to look for a move there, as Panda has lost it out of the second chicane. Up against that wall after everyone passes. We'll jump down to Big Al, who will be coming up to him right now. He's trying to do a... as he's just left. So Panda, who was second following PTR close behind, spun out the second chicane and decided to leave as this race is over. Red Bull was at the front of the McLaren track. I don't know. The McLaren doesn't seem that good at this track. Like they seem even. The Red Bulls and McLaren seem even at this track. But that also could be because every single person in the Red Bull has probably gone maximum top speed. It's PTR in the first set in the fast lap 14.931. Sid gained under that 1 second mark. Seb looking to dive down the inside of Mr. Spice at turn 1, gets it done. Taking that spot away. PTR picking up penalty. A 3-second penalty at the front, so Sid can't, at the moment, is a provisional leader for this race. Mr. Spice and T-Mac also holding penalties to their names. As looks like Quantum's had an off at turn 7. So Quantum now falling behind Seb in 5th. Jump up to, PTR's just had a moment. I didn't even see her because I was focusing on other stuff. So Mrs. Spice again. I don't know if he's overtaken. I don't even know. I'm losing it. So Sid, I believe. Let's look. Yeah, Sid's missing. Or not Sid. PTR is missing quite a bit of his front wing, so he'll be pitting now to repair that damage. We'll jump on board with Quantum, who's chasing Mr. Spice. As it looks like T-Mac trying to dive it down the inside of Quantum at turn 1. Doesn't get the move done. That's a full behind it. And I just hit my knee on my desk again. So we got a 3-way fight for 5th at the moment. The only fight on track as Seb is clawing his way to 3rd place. Trin at the back picking up a 3-second penalty. Same with Sid. Someone getting a bit sideways, and that's Quantum losing traction out of turn 8. Someone's also had another off, and I believe that Trin has had a spin at turn 2. Now dropping behind the lights. So T-Mac currently in 6th place after starting last. Currently doing very well currently doing well after starting last to gain as many points as he can. Oh wait, no. Where did T-Mac start? He started 4th. Or 5th. Ah, I'm losing my mind. Ah. You get halfway through the race and then you just forget where everyone started. And it's just amazing. All I know is that Seb started last. Currently, three-way. Oh, it's basically a two-way fight now. Oh, three-way fight. Quantum just beating that 1 second mark for 5th place. We got Seb, who has now caught the back of Lois. Will jump on board with Seb, who's chased down Lois for 3rd place. Both drivers currently have a penalty to their name. Baitmate, who's in the fray, doing very well to keep his gap to everyone. As it looks like someone's had a massive off after the hairpin. That's Sid in the Red Bull. Sid again, looks like he lost a lot of traction out of the hairpin. Has dropped down to Baitmate's 2nd range after having a 7-8 second gap. Trent also having another spin, or was that Lights that had a spin in Sector 2? I believe that's Lights. Having a spin Sector 2. We'll stay on board with Seb till Seb makes his move. Then might switch to Baitmate, who is following Sid at the moment for 1st place. This is at the moment, basically, Baitmate is provisional leader for the time being, as Sid has a 3-second penalty. But that could change as Seb is on the back of all of these guys. This might turn into a 4-way fight for the lead soon when Lowe's catches up. Gab, Mrs. Spice and T-Mac still going at each other in the McLarens. Now, I thought this race would be entertaining, but this race is a little bit more boring than the last one, to be fair. First race was a lot more interesting than this, as Trin coming out of the pits in front of Lois and Seb. Might have scared both of them for the time being. Trin not yielding to blue flags at the moment. I don't know if this will be taken into account for the reports. Trin at the moment currently looks like he's blocking vision for Seb. So currently top 4 are now in a 1 second train of slipstream, so this is going to be interesting. Baitmate 2nd in the Ferrari is going to be eaten alive by the 2 Red Bulls behind him after they gain that time. We'll jump down with T-Mac, who's close to the back of Mr. Spice, as Trin picks up a 3-second penalty. Oh, T-Mac's around. Woo! I didn't even see that car. That's probably the worst time to turn around as he... Oh, no, he's lucky that he ghosted that. Jeez, that would have been a massive crash if T-Mac's car didn't ghost at that time. So T-Mac after... Look like T-Mac lost the back end behind Mr. Spice under braking. Someone else has spun. I don't know who it is because it didn't say. That's cool. It's Big Al taking a dive up the inside of Quantum for 6th place now. Big Al looking to take advantage of everyone's penalties in the top 5 at the moment. Sid picking on another 3-second penalty, so that's just furthered Baitmate's lead into the race to 6 seconds over Sid at the moment. Sid at the moment will be dropping behind Baitmate, I believe. Shin has decided to disconnect from the session. Currently, gaps are starting to grow to each driver, so we might be having a battle of penalty gaps instead of actually on-track battles. This PTR picked up another 3 second at the back. Pretty sure that has 9 seconds to PTR's name now. Gap to the leader from Baitmate is 1 second. Oh, almost 1 second, but Baitmate is clawing that gap back on the tiny straights. Seb behind, not catching that much on the straights, but will be catching a lot in the sector 1 and sector 2 of this track. Lowe's behind, almost dropping without down to a second. Mrs. Spice trying to gain as much time on Lowe's as he can. As you can see, he's got another 3-second penalty from track extending, as we got a ghost car, and I believe that is Panda's ghost car, I think. Yes. As Baitmate has now picked up a penalty, so Baitmate and Seb will be fighting over this win. Baitmate will be having to stay 3 seconds within Sid as well in front of him to keep that place. And I believe I just saw, yes. So Sid has actually got damage to his car. So this is the reason why Sid's not also able to pull away. Sid currently carrying damage with Baitmate behind her, who's still got a full wing, and then Seb's also behind Baitmate with a full wing. So Sid in these remaining laps is going to get eaten alive by these two drivers. Well, he might not get eaten alive by Baitmate, but he surely get eaten alive by Sid or Seb, who's got to dive it out inside. Oh, he's so lucky. What is happening to Seb's lagging. Oh no. That was horrific. So Seb, I don't know if Seb wanted to dive down inside or if he intended to, but my screen showed him diving it on Baitmate. I'm not sure if he actually did send it. As T-Mac has retired, and that's on after turn 9. We'll jump back onto lights. He's coming through that now. I just thought, what the hell? So T-Mac's car lost. It looks like he lost the car, hit the barrier with his rear tires, and it's just lost as Lowe's trying to send it down the inside of Seb now. Seb looking to send it down the inside of Baitmate, but not pulling the trigger, not forcing a too wide situation into turn 2. That will be the worst idea, because Lowe's was sitting behind to make it a 3 wide corner. Seb at the moment biding his time to choose when to attack. Lowe's catching up to this pack thanks to that VSC that was called by T-Mac's crash. T-Mac will probably finish Teammate will finish last, but Pin and Trim. Pen and Trin will not be accounted for after they disconnected, and at the moment same goes for Quantum after he is disconnected from the game unless he joins the back. But Big Al at the back again past Mr. Spice will stay on this fight for P1 between these four drivers at the moment. Only reason these drivers can stay with Sid is because of that wing damage that Sid is at the moment not able to break away from Batemate in second. Ferrari showing good pace to stay ahead of the Red Bull, but not through the corners as Seb tries to take it around the outside of Batemate into turn 6. Batemate having the inside for turn 7 now. Batemate will stay ahead all the way down to turn 9. Another lapped car getting out of the way for the leader. Oh, I can't stop yawning. Quantum's AI decides to pit him on to new rubber. Big Al has picked up a 3-second penalty for the large chicane, so every driver in this race now carrying a 3-second penalty except for Panda, who he disconnected on lap 2 or lap 3, I believe. On the Red Bulls behind, getting very sideways, and that's Lotus losing on the traction. Seb trying to take him around the outside again at turn 6. Let's see if he gets it done. Late braking against the Ferrari driver. Seb getting pushed onto the curbing to make the turn 6 corner. Gets the inside for turn 8 though. And gets the move done on Batemate. Now he's up in the second. Batemate late braking into turn 9. Sends Seb off the track. Batemate keeping the position up. Batemate needs to be careful because he needs to stay within 3 seconds of Sid if Batemate wants this win. Light's picking up a 3-second penalty out the back. PTR also picking up a 3-second penalty. Seb looking for the dive turn 1 but doesn't decide to do it. Tries to send down the inside of turn 2 but Batemate closes the door on him. Seb having forced to pull out of that. Batemate catching up 2 tenths to Sid thanks to his wing damage he got early in the race. 2 laps remaining, 3 laps including this one that they're currently on. Batemate at the moment in a very prime position. McLaren's at the back, and Big Al was snuck into the fight for P2 at the moment. Lowe's currently dropping out of a second from Seb as Big Al makes it too wide at the chicane. Does Lowe's pull out of the corner? He does. Gives the corner to Big Al so they both can make it in fairly easy. Big Al now up into 4th, 1.6 second gap to Seb. Jump up to Seb, who's on the back of Batemate now. Batemate closing the gap to Sid down to 8 tenths, so Sid able to drop the time from 1.8 to 7 tenths within that lap. Someone had a spin at turn 2, and I believe it was PTR, and PTR's DNF'd as well, so that's the second DNF this race, and that's the second DNF for PTR today. no VSC or safety car being called, as it is the last 2 laps. We will not have a safety car. Seb looking to dive it down the inside, gets the braking just right, sends it down the inside of Batemate. Gives Batemate the squeeze against the wall on the exit, but Batemate gives him a shove. Now this is a battle for straight line speed. Who has the straight line speed? Batemate claws ahead. Batemate gonna have the lead into the chicane and will keep that position after Seb dived at the hairpin. Now Seb is getting real eager to get past Batemate, as this is the final lap. If Seb gets past Batemate, he will take the win. Sends it down inside, but Seb's gone deep cut off Batemate. Now Big Al's snuck down the inside of Batemate, taking third off them. Sid currently leading with that wing damage, but due to penalties, he will finish behind all these drivers. He might even drop to 5th place, as Seb has really caught up to the back of Sid on this lap. Seb is looking for that on-track overtake. He wants that on-track win as Batemate picks up a free-zone penalty. That will be 6 seconds to Batemate's time. So Batemate will not be taking 3rd. He might even drop to 4th place or 5th, as we got contact behind, or was that contact between Seb and Sid? Camera angle didn't really help me, but it looks like Seb has gone past, but Sid has the better straight line speed into the chicane. 71 wheel. Seb's yelling to wield for Sid as Sid picks up another 3 seconds, so Sid's on 9 seconds. So Sid will take the win on track, but Seb will take the overall win for this race, followed by Big Al, who had a miserable race and a miserable start to this race. He'll be taking P2 after recovery drive. Batemate in 3rd on the Ferrari, showing that the Ferrari is not a bad car to choose from. Sid will be dropped down to 4th, followed by Lois, Mr. Spice for the finishes. And then we'll have Lights and Quantum finishing. Or Lights will be finishing out the last remaining cars. And he's DNF. Never mind, Lights doesn't even finish it. Okay. So we only got 6 finishes out of a 12 car grid, I believe. We had 3 DNFs and 3 disconnects. So that is your finishing order. Seb taking the win after penalties were applied to Sid post-race. Big Al will be taking 2nd after a recovery drive after his start to this race. Batemate in 3rd in that Ferrari, showing the pace. Sid will be taking 4th, followed by Lois and Mrs. Spice. Lights DNFing at the line. And same with PTR and T-Mac, Team Trin and Panda and Quantum all disconnecting. No, Sid, you were not lagging. You were completely fine on my end. So that is the finishing results. Panda's car, the only one not to get any penalties, but that's because he wasn't in the car to actually get any penalties. Now, I'm just going to end it there, because I'm so not in the mood for interviews, and plus, everyone's alive for the last call, so there's not really anyone to choose from except for 2 people. So I'll probably be ending it there. We do have, hang on, just 2 seconds. Just need to find out the number for this so I don't mess it up. We do have Tier 1 and Tier 2 on Sunday this week at Britain. We will be at Tier 1 and Tier 2 taking on the Silverstone circuit this time around. We also, I'm not sure, but we do have some AFR drivers participating in tomorrow's 12-hour Bathurst endurance race that is happening on iRacing. Not completely sure if they are going to be streaming to the main AFR channel, or if they're going to be streaming to their individual channels. But I'm pretty sure the members that are currently doing Bathurst so far as I know, I think Band, Gus, and Kunai, I think they're doing it. I think they're doing a 12-hour race tomorrow. Me, T-Mac, and Mickey will also be doing the 12-hour tomorrow, but we will be in a different team to Ben and Gus. They might stream to the AFR channel. If not, they'll be streaming to their own personal channel. But that is only if you guys want something to watch, because we, as always, we're not streaming on Saturday as we don't really have any series happening. But as Sunday goes, it's always the same. We have Tier 1, 7 p.m. Melbourne time start for Silverstone. Then we got Tier 2, 10, I think it's 10 minutes, 5 minutes after Tier 1 finishes for Tier 2 start. And I highly recommend that you do watch Tier 1 and Tier 2, as Gus, who has now taken over streaming for this season, since Kunai has real life commitments he has to do before next season. So Gus is controlling all the streaming for now. I highly recommend watching the Tier 1, Tier 2 streams, as Gus does put a lot of time into the cinematics and edits that he does at the start of the stream. It is actually a very cool concept that he has done for the Sunday races. That will be 2010 series. Next week we'll be going to France. So we got France next week for 2010s. That is going to be a McLaren track. I bet you. If a McLaren does not win next week, I'm not going to be very happy with myself. But we will be live next week. Hopefully, I will be commentating next week. Hopefully, I'll be commentating along combined next week as well. If combined feels better. But that's it for this week. We'll be live next week for France, live this Sunday at 7 p.m. Melbourne. For anyone that doesn't have anything going on, if you feel like watching, have a watch. It's actually very competitive racing between everyone in Tier 1. And I'll catch you all Sunday, because I'm actually racing Sunday, but I'll also catch you all on Friday, as I'll be streaming the Friday races for everyone. Catch you later, guys.